So there has been a desire to have a consent that is signed by not just the participant, but the investigator themselves. And to have both of those signatures show up on the consent and be available to the participant. So here is the module, multi-signature consent, and I want to show you the extensive documentation on this. Yeah, so this is why we were having a bit of a problem trying to figure out how to make this thing work. So I'm going to try and walk through this as clearly as possible, and hopefully this, when we capture this on video, it will help if anybody else wants to use this multi-signature consent. So the one thing that is most important is, even though there's no documentation, there's a configuration option. So I'm going to go to the configuration option, and you are going to define where the signatures on the different instruments are, because you cannot both sign a survey, you being a coordinator and I being a participant. Let's say we can't both sign an open survey at the same time. However, we can do something that's very similar and return to the participant a PDF that's signed by both of us on the same consent. So this is the easy part, pretty much determining the two instruments you want to merge. And then from then on, I'm going to walk you through this in the design. So I tried to make this as easy as possible. Let me blow this up a little bit. So there's a parent guardian signature, there's the investigator signature, and there's a screening form. And to some extent, if you're going to use this module, I would follow this structure pretty closely, at least to start with, and then you can play around with it. But I started out with a screening event. Okay, so I've got a screening event, and I just have these fields, and that's all I need, because you're just collecting some demographic information. This is relatively unrelated to all the demographic information will be related to the metrics for your project, but not necessarily much for the signatures for the consent. This is really just to get you off and running. Okay, so then the parent guardian signature is important because this is the actual consent. So we have the consent here, and I'll go to the design so it's not confusing. Go to the consent, and it's all set up, and then it asks for the name of the participant, a participant signature, and captures a date. I did it in hours and minutes so that if it's useful, it will document that both of us, both the investigator and the participant, signed almost simultaneously. So this is all that I need for this particular test project. And then there is a page where the investigator is going to capture their signature. So you're going to have your name, and then you're going to sign it, and there's going to be a date. But the key thing on this instrument is there will be an upload field, an upload file field. You can call it anything you want. But it's important that you have this upload file field on some instrument that is not on the consent. Okay, that is key. So go back to this, and I only have my parent guardian signature as a survey. If I look at my survey settings, they're very basic. It is set up for e-consent, okay? And it fills in e-consent information. And as I walk through this, I'll show you that there's no way to get around the e-signature PDF that is created when it's generated following the parent or participant signature takes place. So I'm going to walk you through this. And also I want you to know that the order of these instruments is also important. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my external module. I'm going to take a look at my multi-signature consent. So now the first thing is, this is where the PDF for these multiple signatures is going to be saved, and it has to be file upload field. It cannot be on the consent form. It's got to be on a different instrument. So I put this on that investigator PDF variable upload field in the investigator instrument. This multi-signature merger takes place when the participant completes the signature of the consent. Okay, so they would go through, they would submit when everything is complete, they would see the e-consent, all of that. But this occurs and triggers these two instruments to merge. You can put a header on it, and there's other features, but I want to keep this as simple as possible. This is all it takes to make this happen. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my design real quick and go over this one more time. 3 instruments on the participant consent. It's just basic, just like you would. There's nothing different about this. The only field that is different is this investigator signature instrument, where there is a place to upload a file. So if I walk through this then, and I create a new record, I'm going to come into my screening. I'm going to say, here's my name and my address, and I'm done with this, and save and exit my form. Okay, so I've created a record, 10, and I'm here. So this could be filled out either through a survey, if you wanted to post a link online, whatever, but you would not want to have it auto continue to the participant signature page because you want to be involved with that action. So unless you knew somebody was filling out this screening form and was going to auto continue here, you know, the purpose of this whole thing is so both those signatures are going to be available to this participant virtually simultaneously. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'll go copy this and open this up here. And then, so on my first tab here, I'm going to open the participant signature page instrument for this record, record 10, and open it as a survey. Okay, so this is what the participant would see. Over here, I'm going to open up the investigator signature, and I'm going to just put I'll put Tanya's name. Go ahead and create a signature for her. Note that I've got a date and time on here. But I'll put the parent guardian thing here. I'm going to say this is my name. I'm going to add my signature. Okay, and go to the next page. It's going to take me to the e-consent. Okay, so we're all familiar, if you deal with e-consents, we're familiar with what this looks like, and here's the PDF with the signature. There is no merged signatures on this e-consent. The purpose of the module is to provide you with something that includes everything, but this isn't it. So I'm going to check, yeah, I certify that. I'll submit it, and it's going to send me that e-consent, but I'm going to, I should have done this before, but if I have this complete, see, this is probably makes a difference about the order here. First of all, so I guess this will just show you what works and what doesn't. This is what should have had 2 signatures on it. It didn't because I didn't save my signature first. So I'm going to go back here and do another one of these. Actually, I'm just going to come back in here, delete this, and come back in here. And I'll delete this, and we'll do this again. So I'm going to come in here first and make sure that I sign this. Tanya has palsy. Not really, not really. That was a joke. Okay, so, oh, I need to, I better start from scratch here. You'll have to edit this, Manny. So I'm going to come to a new record. I'm going to add a new record, go to my screening, get my stuff in here. Mark it as complete, save and exit the form. And then go back over here to 11 and just open this up over here, but I'm going to open the investigator signature here and sign that and mark it as complete and exit the form. Okay, so this record is ready to go. Participant comes in, they fill in their name, save the signature. Oh, it's a survey for them. So same difference though. And add signature. Okay. Next page, certify, submit, and close the survey. Okay, so I just received 2 emails. Okay, so one was this. Okay, this is the standard e-consent that you get. But I set up an alert and notification to send out this second consent, which looks like this. And of course, it didn't work. Isn't that the way it always is? Let's see here. So once it's saved, it saves right here. And it did not merge. Oh, yes, it did. So it did merge the 2 together. So what our goal is to grab that and send it out. Let me just check. I might have opened the same one twice. I did. I apologize. So this is what I received in my email. This is what I received in my email. So I did get this right. It did come through. There is the signature of the participant and the signature of the coordinator. It also shows the time that each was signed. So it would be a document of signing at the same time. And again, that gets uploaded to this investigator PDF field, which is on the investigator signature page. This is key. It cannot be uploaded here if the survey is in play. So it was completed here, time stamped, and then completed here, time stamped here, and here is the one that gets sent out. The alert and notification just says that, when the same thing as when that parent guardian signature is complete, that will send to me, and then grabs this file upload field and attaches the investigator PDF. So in a nutshell, that's how it all works. So those few pieces are key. If you put the investigator signature in front of the parent, above the parent signature guardian, and leave everything the same, it will put the investigator signature first on the email that goes out. It is not based on what you put here. So just because you put parent guardian signature here first and investigator signature here second, it matters what order these are in. At least that's what I have found out in all my testing. So, and again, these don't have to all be surveys. You can do this manually, like right before you send out the consent, or while you're speaking with somebody on the phone. You just want to make sure that you complete your signature before the participant completes theirs. Sue, any questions about that? Nope. Well, hopefully we'll be able to post this, and then the people that are looking for those okay, so Tanya's made a point, saving the file repository with that merged consent. Good comment, and can be done in the configuration down here where you can save in the file repository. And you then designate which one you want to save in the file repository, and save it, and that will save it to the file repository. And if you don't know already, the file repository is already holding your signed e-consents. Okay, so these are all signed e-consents. However, it doesn't automatically capture that second consent signed with both signatures. By changing that external module to send it to the file repository, that's how that would work. So again, since this is pretty quick, I'll do another one real quick. And I'm just going to go here real quick and do this, and Tanya. And say complete. So I'm all ready. And now I go to my participant who has their, you send them their survey, or you're talking with them, and they already have it open, and you're going over the consent with them. And so they agree to this. They save the signature, and they certify all this is correct, and they submit this, and they close the survey. So now let's look at our file repository. And we do have file repository PDF. This is the one. This is the email that I just got. With both signatures on it. And there's something that if I check these configurations one more time, I think I need to save this. Anyway, so I think that if you play around with a couple of those, you'll get two records in the file repository. And so when you look in your survey archive, there should be two there. So that is how long are the records stored in REDCap? Records are stored indefinitely in REDCap. File upload fields stored indefinitely. These e-consents indefinitely, we have them backed up. We back them up every day, multiple times. So we have everything. We have a huge file storage ability, but REDCap automatically keeps everything unless you manually delete something, and actually you're probably just deleting the link to the file. The file will remain in our files, but you can remove it from what you see on your project. So it's 2 o'clock, and if you think about it or play with it and you have questions, please let us know. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all back again next Thursday for the Red Zone. Thank you all for joining, and I hope you all have a great weekend.